Hey everybody, welcome back to The Loop. This week we are talking about the lost art of fearing God. I don't think there are a lot of people today who fear God, but there are a lot of verses in Scripture that tell us that we should fear God. And so I want to explore this thought even further today and hopefully reclaim an important part of our relationship with God that has been lost in modern Christianity. The first 2 days, I've taken you to passages in the New Testament, and I want to take you back to the New Testament again today so that you do not default into believing that this is just some Old Testament principle that doesn't really apply to us today. In 1 Peter chapter 2, verses 16 to 18, Peter wrote this. He said, "Live as free people, but do not use your freedom as a cover-up for evil. Live as God's slaves. Show proper respect to everyone, love the family of believers, fear God, honor the emperor. Slaves, in reverent fear of God, submit yourselves to your masters, not only those who are good and considerate, but also to those who are harsh." Now, again, for the third day in a row, the New Testament is teaching us that our lives should be different because we live with a healthy fear of God. Specifically here in this passage, Peter says that your fear of the Lord should affect the way you treat everybody. He told us to show proper respect to everyone in the world. He tells us to love people who are part of God's family. He tells us to show honor to the emperor, and he said that we should submit to our masters. Now listen, Peter isn't telling us to do these things because people deserve it, but because God expects it. They didn't honor the godless emperor because he deserved it. They didn't submit to harsh masters because they deserve it. They did it because God expected it. And they had a healthy fear of God. It's that healthy fear of God that drives us to do things that others in the world would never do. It's one of the things that God uses to set His people apart so that we can make a difference and have a positive influence in the world. And so let me end today by planting this seed. On those days when you struggle to love other people and respect other people, on those days when you want to say things or post things that dishonor our president, on those days when you don't feel like submitting to your employer, remember, the fear of the Lord is what causes us to be obedient. You don't do it because they deserve it. You do it because God expects it.